United States, he doesn't give me anything additional or takes anything
Most criminals
from my qualifications.
I'm going to interview
when I'm working
No, it's
experience in the hotel, right? Because this has been on my mind for a long time, working in the Navy. But I understand
it's a large amount
this whole degrading the crew and stuff. You go on cruise ships every year.
Hi, Tam here. Most crew members are not very clear about the alcohol policy on the cruise ship where they work. So let's talk about it. All crew members know that if you are found to be drunk on a cruise ship, you will be fired. But what does it mean, concretely speaking? How many drinks can you have? How many drinks are you allowed to have for you to be under the acceptable level of alcohol in your blood? If your cruise ship is American, like Carnival Cruise Line, the limit for crew members is set according to the legal limit of driving after having had some alcohol. So it's 0.08%. If you're found to be above 0.08%, you will be dismissed. If your cruise line is French, like Ponant, because in France the limit is 0.05%, the acceptable limit of driving having had some alcohol intake. On French cruise lines, the limit is 0.05%. On cruise ships, there is no blood alcohol level test. I stand to be corrected, but I believe that no cruise ship has the capability to do a blood alcohol test. So on cruise ships, we just take the breath alcohol levels, but the rules remain the same. Why am I saying that? Because there will be a difference between your blood alcohol level and your breath alcohol level. Your blood alcohol level is the most sensitive. If you are at 0.08% blood alcohol level, on a breathalyzer, you will not be at 0.08%. You'll be lower than that because it's taken from your breath. If I breathalyze you and you're scoring 0.05%, which is the limit, perhaps on your cruise line, good for you. You are at the limit, so no problems. But if I were to do a blood alcohol level, you'll definitely be above 0.05, probably 0.06 and above. Some cruise lines are very strict and have implemented a limitation at 0.04% for all crew members. Still, it's about 2 drinks. The thinking behind that is that, we're on a cruise ship and an emergency could happen anytime. And if there is a dire emergency, as in a major fire or a situation where we need to abandon ship, it's fair to expect all crew to never be above 0.04%. So yeah, some cruise lines have chosen 0.04% as their cutoff point. Now, something to be aware of is that whether your cruise line is at 0.05% or 0.08%, such as Carnival Cruise Line. For crew members with a high degree of responsibilities, their BAC will not be allowed to be above 0.04%. Who are such crew members? Senior officers, the captain, the staff captain, the chief engineer, the safety officer, the doctor, the entire security team, and others. So these people are expected to never be above 0.04%. As they say, with great power comes great responsibilities. But what does it mean? What does it mean to be at 0.05 or 0.08? If you have a blood alcohol level of 0.05%, it means that per 100 mils of your blood, there is 50 milligrams of alcohol, and that makes it 0.05%. If you're at 0.08%, it means that for 100 mils of your blood, there is 80 milligrams of alcohol. So when a cruise line says that the limit is 0.05%, it means that the limit for the crew members, the alcohol limit, is 50 milligrams of alcohol per 100 mils of blood. But now what does it mean? You're there, you're having a beer, you don't know how many milligrams of alcohol per 100 mils you have in your body, right? So it works like this, and it's not an exact science, People are different, different weight, different size, different body composition, different body fat, percentage of body fat and all that stuff. But generally speaking, and again, it's generally speaking, for a person, for an individual of an ideal body weight of 70 to 75 kilograms, right? You're talking about a man, which is about 165 pounds. It is believed by most people around the world that to be at 0.05%, you would need to have 2 drinks. Again, it depends on your weight. If you're around 60 kilograms, 55, 60 kilograms as a woman maybe, then 2 drinks, 2 alcoholic drinks will take you to 0.05%. But to just universalize this whole situation, we will say that for the average person, 2 drinks, 2 alcoholic drinks will put you at 0.05%. If the limit is 0.08%, for you to be at 0.08%, it's 4 drinks and above, 4 alcoholic drinks. So 1 alcoholic drink is defined as 1 shot of hard liquor, meaning 1 shot of tequila, 1 shot of whiskey, 1 shot of vodka, or 1 glass of wine, or 1 glass of beer. A glass of beer defined as 350 mils of volume. So 1 alcoholic drink is 1 shot of hard liquor, 1 glass of wine, usually red wine, your red wine glass being bigger than your white wine glass, or 1 glass of beer of 350 mils max. So again, when your cruise line says that the limit is 0.05% or 50 milligrams per 100 mils, they mean that the limit is 2 drinks, 2 shots of whiskey, 2 glasses of wine, 2 cans of beer, or 2 glasses of beer. All right. If you're working for a cruise line that has set a limit of 0.08% or 80 milligrams of alcohol per 100 mils of blood, then it means that you're allowed to have up to 4 shots of whiskey, tequila, whatever hard liquor you like, 4 glasses of wine, and 4 cans of beer at 340 mils a can. Now, I think that's very generous. 4 shots of whiskey after house, it's a bit much. 4 glasses of wine, yeah. So that's very, very generous, but again, the limit in North America for drinking and driving is 0.08%. So, after having had 4 glasses of wine, right? Okay. Now, there is a time duration to this definition. It is generally believed that for you to be at 0.05% alcohol, you'd have to have 2 alcoholic drinks, but it's not 2 alcoholic drinks during the day. If you have 1 drink at lunch, let's say at 12 noon, 1 glass of wine, and another glass of wine at 8 p.m. during dinner, you're not going to be at 0.05%. So the time duration is 2 drinks within 1 hour. So again, I'm going back now for the full definition. For you to be at 0.05%, you need to have 2 alcoholic drinks within a 1 hour period. Meaning 2 shots of whiskey within 60 minutes. And that should put you at around 0.05%, depending on your size, your weight, and all that stuff. Now, if you're working on a cruise ship, if you're going to work on a cruise ship, you shouldn't worry too much about this if you are a drinker, right? Personally, I'm not a drinker. I should think that because this guy is making a video about that, maybe I'm a very regular drinker and I'm concerned now. I'm just, as a doctor that's worked on cruise ships, I just want to give the information to my fellow crew members out there, You shouldn't worry that, oh, look, if I have 2 drinks, or I'm at a party and I'm having 3 beers, I'm going to be breathalyzed and I'm going to be fired. No, it doesn't work like that, Nobody is allowed to breathalyze you unless there is cause for concerns. There must be a reason for you to be breathalyzed. Because after you're going to be breathalyzed, this will need to be documented. Crew member XYZ was breathalyzed today, September 11, 2022, and an incident report has to be filled. You can breathalyze somebody, you can breathalyze a crew member, and then on the incident report you said, no reason, I just felt like it. No. So as a security officer, you're not allowed to do that. That would constitute prejudice and harassment. As a doctor on the ship, I'm not allowed to do that. The captain is not allowed to do that. The hotel director is not allowed to do that. Your managers are not allowed to do that. You can't randomly stop crew members on a cruise ship and decide to breathalyze them for no reasons. Otherwise you would get into trouble, you the manager. All right? So it's not like random drug tests, right? Drugs are illegal on cruise ships, and so there are some random drug tests, urine drug tests, to make sure that you are clean. So that's allowed because drugs are illegal. Alcohol is not illegal, and so you can't stop people randomly and breathalyze them. It's not illegal. You're allowed to drink reasonably. So that's something to understand. So don't be afraid if you've never been on a ship that, maybe I'm going to go to a party one day and I'm going to have maybe 3 drinks and I'm going to be breathalyzed. No. For you to be breathalyzed, there would need to have been an incident. And that's quite important. Now, in terms of incidents, yes, you go to one of the bars on the ship, one of the restaurants, maybe a crew party, maybe the crew bar. You're drinking there with friends. You're drinking, everybody's drinking. You had 2 glasses of champagne. So far, no problem. No problems in terms of no incidents. But now if you are involved in an incident, everything changes. You're becoming disruptive, belligerent, aggressive. Security has to be called. Now an incident report is going to be written. And now you're going to be breathalyzed. And you're going to be over the limit and you're going to be fired. If you live in one of the bars on the ship and you're going back to your room and you're stumbling around and you're clearly intoxicated and security sees you, again, it's an incident. You're stumbling around on your way back to your cabin. You're clearly intoxicated, slurred speech. Security will write an incident report, take you to the medical center, breathalyze you, and then you'll be fired. So now it's completely dependent on the discretion of the security officer that sees you. I've been on some ships where the security was very lenient towards the crew, and you see after a long night in Cozumel, some crew members will be intoxicated, coming on board clearly intoxicated, and security will see that. And if they know the crew member has been exemplary for the 3 months he or she's been on board. It's a person that's always hardworking, polite, friendly, positive. They might just say, you know what? Look, you're intoxicated. Just go from here straight to your cabin and get some sleep. So they'll help you out. They said, hey, come on, man, you're not supposed to do that, Please, try and walk straight, try and hold it together, and go straight to your cabin and get some rest. If you go anywhere else and security is being called, that will be it, Seeing you at the gangway coming from Curacao or Aruba or Cozumel, a little bit intoxicated, joyful and stuff, very loud, they'll just tell you, shh, please, just calm down and go to your cabin. And so it happens. So it's completely up to them. Now, if you've always been an asshole towards security, then on that day, then make sure that you're gone. Now, in every system, there will always be those who will abuse the system. Cruise ships are the same. And so unfortunately, it's not often, but it happens, some individuals of a low moral compass will abuse the system, and so some people will use the breathalyzer as a weapon. Is the truth. I've seen it myself. Using the breathalyzer as a weapon, using the breathalyzer to get somebody fired. And so yes, as I said, it is illegal to randomly breathalyze people. You can't just stop somebody minding his own business, working, or maybe spending his free time taking a walk around the ship, and then stop that person and breathalyze the person. No, that's not okay. That's harassment. But some people will use certain ways to get you breathalyzed with the end goal to get you fired. I'll give you an example. For you to breathalyze somebody, there will be an incident report. But a manager or a supervisor can create a false incident report. Nobody is stopping somebody from lying and saying that, calling security and bringing a crew member to the medical center and lying and saying that, yes, so he or she is clearly intoxicated. I saw him stumbling around, being incoherent. Yes, he's been drinking way too much. He looks okay now, but 2 hours ago, he wasn't. Or some BS story like that. All right, so that's in brief. That's the situation with cruise ships and alcohol. I hope this helps. And please, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, all right? If you liked this video, please leave me a like. Leave a comment. I'll answer your questions. And subscribe. Don't be one of those guys watching all my videos in the shadow, behind your laptop or your phone, watching, but refusing to subscribe. No! Do the right thing and subscribe. It helps me out, it helps this channel, and you might be watching me at night or during the day or in the morning, depending on where you are in the world. I wish you all the very best. I hope that all of us, including myself, are going to be better tomorrow than you've been today. Cheers.